Okay, this is the 1900 white family rotary, and this video is dedicated to John Stewart. You know where you are. I had a 1908 family rotary with a needle bar that was stuck in the faceplate box, and John tried his darndest to help me to get it to work, and it never did. So we don't have that problem this time. This is what a faceplate box looks like on the inside. There are at least two very good sets of videos on people restoring these machines, specifically the family rotaries. So I'm not going to make videos doing all of that. I need to get this machine running smoothly, quickly, and quickly for my dog. So you heard the squeak in the video called Belt Check. You heard the squeak in the box. And yet this looks fairly clean. This is gunky. So what I will do is I can probably use a Scotch-Brite pad, which won't scratch. This is gunkier. So I just want to clean those up a little bit. Now, a couple of things. There's a little bit of dust in here, but not too bad. If this hasn't been taken off in over 100 years, this is not bad. Of course, I don't know that. But the first thing to tell you, here's the hole where the screw was. There's the empty hole that you don't want to stick your screwdriver in. And here's the other hole for the other screw. Now, they are the same size. They're right there. This was in the bottom hole, came out with, I first tried my trusty Singer screwdriver. I second tried my trusty Craftsman screwdriver. And then I had to go for the big guns, which is Mechanic Professional screwdriver. Now, you will notice on these are flathead screws, we're talking about the blade width. So here's your typical Singer blade width. This one is just a little bit wider, but it's an alloy that's not quite as strong as this, which is steel. So that's why this is a big gun. Now, the bottom screw came out with this one, and the top screw started to get stripped. And I said, okay, we can't have that. So when you're doing this, make sure you get the widest screwdriver blade you can so that you don't ruin the screw. So I managed to get it off of there, but the other thing is you want to do, especially with a bigger screwdriver, and this was like this, you see how it bumps into the spool pin? Now, my left hand, I had around the faceplate box over here, and I went to this side, the front side of the spool pin, and pushed against my own hand, which I can't do now because I'm holding the camera. But I had my left hand on the outside of the faceplate box so that I wasn't pushing against the air. In other words, you don't want to just keep shoving the machine this way. You want your own left hand over here so that you're pushing against a stoppable object. And I really had to use all my strength to get that off of there. But I did do it, and now it's not going to be stripped. So, this is it. And I don't know why it was squeaking. I expected a mouse or something to be in there. There's no mice. There's a little bit of dirt. Like I said, if this hasn't been opened for well over 100 years, then look at that. Now, another thing about this, you can't really see it. You can maybe see it there. You know what's all over the bed? Little tiny red dots. So I'm thinking somebody I mean, it could be overspray because they were painting a car or something like that and the spray was in the air. Or it could be there's a red primer under the original paint. And look at, even there's drips of paint. So that's kind of funny because I've seen the videos on how they make machines, and you wouldn't think drips could show up. Very few decals. So anyway, what I'm going to do now, like I said, is clean this out. And the other thing I want to mention, you see this arm. The hole in that arm has to go on the post right here. When I go to put this back together, I have to stick the post into the hole, manipulate it like this, and when it came off, it was up. I had to push it up and off. So now I'll reverse that when I put it back on, but I have to have that swing arm onto that post.